moment. He doesn't get the kill against Jam with the cross. And James allowed to
Ce mi-a
reface
făcut
for
un
the
prost
quick
futul în gură.
5 points of
Deci mie cozonac, tai știu din ăla care am ăla nou.
Simple just gets impatient, doesn't he? On that rotation out from heaven, rather than holding the sight line, he overpeaks. And that's where James just capitalizes on the kill. Very difficult 2v1, because it's well read by the movement there from Dupree to get back out to Temple. You've got two players on low HP. So while it was a threatening round, I would be disappointed if I'm Falcons not to win it.
He's damaged with the pistols. It could have been so much more. With the force buy in mind, of course, VP can recover this economy damage if they just get away pretty clean. There are upgrades, of course, in those Deagles still left for them, but not quite as supported by utility or supported by Kevlar.
And I don't have a huge amount of faith for VP
Cum a fost Anastasia chat?
after seeing what I saw against OG earlier on today.
Cum a fost Anastasia chat?
Seeing how weak their Anubis has looked in recent history. But if it is a good start for them on T side, there's going to be leverage on map number 2.
I think we've discussed how T-side of this map is, and if it's weakened for you, if it's not a map you win all that often, then you are looking towards this first half as being the main base.
Am băgat la sub 5 minute, n-ai, dă-te în slow pause, mă fac sclav. Ești terminat mental.
No success in the pistol basis. They're doing some damage towards Flit and Fame, so maybe some trades could come out, maybe some damage could be done. Dupree can't hit the kill shots on Flit. Magic can take Electronic down with one good headshot and tag up Jame, eventually take that kill against him. So again, they're working down VP as much as possible, but they don't hit more killing blows. 1v3 for Simple now. Adjustments towards Norbert. Both sent back towards the camera as they try and just focus him down. Eventually he gets one decent shot on Fame, so it will be 3 more casualties to add to the expense, and bomb drop for the time being, but Norbert is still going to lock in the round.
Now, when I actually scout VP in the last few months, you realise
Ce
that
se
they're playing
întâmple cu aia?
online tournaments, just LAN after LAN. The one online tournament they did play was the Blast Showdown, and to be fair to them, Jay, opening game round of 16 was up against Zero Tenacity, and they beat them at 13-11 on Anubis. Now, you and I, we cast a lot of the tier 2 teams. Zero Tenacity in the conversation of one of the very best Anubis teams that we have in tier 2. So I'm now looking at this as an online format with a chance of playing the map again. We actually might see more success from on VP because of the atmosphere.
And they lead for the time being, the 3-0 start. Falcons face them with a gun by Orp on Simple towards mid. James also out there in mid. No shots land from either player. James only now starting to make his way up to a fragging angle as he sees one, or doesn't see one CT. Snappy diving away from camera before he can get spotted. Flash is starting to get sent down so they can start to take more mid presence. 2 of them to keep them blinded. Counter smoke has got to come out for the captain.
And they can just cancel here. You've got all of this mid space for free. You've got a lurker in top mid with the bomb. You've got a lurker outside A. I'm actually surprised how much VP's mid space has just been brute forced. We're never even seeing much of a contact in mid from Falcons.
Into Electric, they look to start peeking in. They still hold that mid presence. Sure that there is no pushes or backstabbers for the Falcons side. Instead, it's down to the mid defenders where Madden is good to open up the round. Low HP, however. Utility sent in towards Cliff. He's able to line up a second kill alongside the free support. James will find Magic in the meantime, but it's a 4 versus 2 still that favors the favors the Falcons side, I should say. Rotation still going to come through from the AWP to support Flit on a split back in towards the bomb site. Seeing nothing as of right now. Falcons having to play hidden because they've got time with them or on their side. Flit moves up finally, isolates Dupree, sees that Orpa, can't quite take him, has to prioritize that bomb plant, and Madden in a panic runs right into Jame. They've sprung the trap, 2 versus 2, and Jame backs away for the post plant.
And Flint's even got a flash for the late round. This is so workable in the 2v2. Simple's going to be wary about coming out of CT on that engage against the AWP in B main.
The one worry for Jame is that he wonders if there's a backstab coming. They're moving onto the bomb site now. Flit not finding Snappy. The AWP is Simple moving up to watch off for Flit's position. Knows that he must be Electric. Starts moving in for an AWP battle and lands it with a no-scope. Flit now to peek up towards the defuse being held by Snappy. Simple's got the angle on mark and holds his double kill for Falcons' first rounds.
Now, I can sit here, Jay, and say that was a really good retake from Simple, but that was also a 4v2 when the bomb shouldn't have even gone down. From a stylistic point of view, that's almost atrocious that they allow VP back into the round there.
I'll say a good retake for Simple, a bad retake for Falcons. So is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, it wasn't even the retake though, it was just the side holds.
Băga mea și pula, nu ca asta.
Madden and Dupree kept it all together initially. overfighting that eventually led to that 2 versus 2 situation.
Sunt fraier acum.
At least with the damage being done in the previous rounds, Falcons 1 round
Mihai, mi-a arătat unul pula. M-am mâncat în cârstenți eu pe Instagram. Băga mea și pula în aia în Petre Ștefan aia de mi-ați dat eu. E live castul.
The VP have shown, even on map number 1, how much Flick can do with this hero rifle. Unfortunately, with the pressure from both mid-window and from electric, you've got to worry about 2 positions at the same time, and it means that Flick can't do anything.
He'll fight as best he can, dish out damage to Dupree, but it's a kill against him and a rifle lost in no man's land to Virtus.pro. Even if they do get it, no Kevlar available. Is going to become a factor for the fights. It's just not great.
Cu eu îmbețivul? Cu eu îmbețivul cu DSM cu remede?
Work up canals with it. How much impact can he find?
Well, with no one having any armor, probably none at all. Might be able to try and get 1 kill on a bomb site, but it's unlikely. And if you just take tomorrow, Jay, it will be Flit's anniversary of 3 years on Virtus.pro.
Well, no reason to celebrate for round 5. Norbert actually does force out the kill on Dupree. Line up, damage done, eventually done towards Martin. The bomb's on site. The USP is pulling in the kills against them. Electronic takes 1 more player with him and might just sneak in the cash bonus of the plant. Going into the rifle though.
Da, Mihai, mulțumesc lui Dumnezeu, nu mi-e să cred.
Gets the shot quickly to the head and holds the round together for Falcons.
And it would be nice to see this rivalry build between not only Falcons and VP, but Electronic and Simple, because we've seen one of the head-to-heads between these 2 squads, but now with Simple being brought into the roster, it makes you wonder how many more head-to-heads you're going to get.
Mai facem 100 de like-uri, mai facem un like.
From what, November of 2017 to May of 2023, won the Stockholm Major. Long-time teammates and now enemies against one another.
Mai facem o like, bă. Nu mai facem.
Weakened weapons for Virtus.pro here, and Electronic is suffering to one of those. Galil for him and Fame. The
Zici tu, mă, HYPERX?
James Orp and Norbert's AK. Simple's Orp going to challenge James as well. Electric.
Arăta regele.
Shot baited in just by a slither worth of pixels. Molotov's against Dupree is going to force him to back off. He doesn't use his smoke. He doesn't need to. Grenades don't go deep on Electric either, so Virtus.pro prodding away at the Falcons.
Simple's not overextending the angle. We've seen targetation out on this B bomb site. I haven't seen many A hits recently. NWP's finally going to over-rotate away, but Dupree is not giving up on Electric. He is still maintaining the position.
Another HG coming into Flit. Damaged up by the incendiary, of course, using that smoke, giving up his position. Madden now starts to press towards the man as well. A Tech 9 in his hands. They better be watching this angle.
Stau și ei ca băieții aici un pic.
In this corner as well. VP have absolutely
trebuie să ia 5 de aici Falcons.
Eventually will get seen, but Madden's done so much there with the kill and nearly a second on Fame. 28 points
Mamă, coaie ce flash. Bă, ce flash, bă, băiatule, bă. Uitați de unde, bă, pierdut. Uitați throw-uri, bă.
And Snappy's hoping for a fight, but at the moment, none of the T-side are overpeaking.
No utility available for Falcons. Jay missing a flick, and now it's on Fame and Electronic. Fame is low, barely seen by Snappy. They get his kill. Now it's on Electronic to clutch this. He holds on to 1 pick. Needs magic to fall, but no. The AK goes 1 better than the Galil. Falcons are all squared up.
Jane will be kicking himself because he knows he should be winning that fight against the CT player. He knows that if that
hai cu like, chat, să ne strângem și noi 500 iar. Hai cu like-ul ăla, să ne strângem și noi mulți de tot, chat. Hai cu like-ul ăla, mânca v-aș gura voastră. Mamă!
And then Snappy just catching enough vision on the bomb planter's back.
Ce bine a jucat Snappy aici. Ce bine a jucat Snappy acolo, bă, băieți.
Virtus.pro to be left back with no money here. Can only afford the half buy on the T side. Tech 9s for Ford, Deagle for Jame. On the pit, God still favour them at this moment in time. By virtue of their map advantage, you can expect that Falcons are making a good go.
Dați like să facem iar 200 de like-uri, că am luat din greșeală strike. Dați like, Mihai, Bami, dai like, HYPERX.
Going in for the B execution pretty quickly with utility set as well.
Snappy with a flash plate. They've got 3 on B, so it's a good setup from Falcons.
Flash is over. Madden trying to suppress 2 players out in the open, forced on by Snappy.
Bine modul pri, bine modul pri. Bine modul pri, mă. Bine de tot. Am dat deja. Te pup. Pizza Huts? N-am testat, rege, n-am testat.
And I wouldn't even say that Anubis is the best map in the pool right now from Falcons.
Am testat ciocolată Mr. Beast, nu vă recomand. Am testat ciocolată Mr. Beast.
And then Anubis only gets picked depending on the opposition. Now they played it in their opening game against 3D Max, and the French are one of the very best Anubis teams that we have in Tier 2. But knowing that VP struggle on this map, and after the result they had against OG, there is no surprise that Anubis got picked in the veto.
Urâtă rău ciocolata aia Mr. Beast, proastă rău de tot. Am luat să fac un videoclip.
Never allowed a much earlier secure of momentum for the Falcons side. Up at the advantage for what feels like the first time in the series.
Dima, te pup. Trebuie să dați like, mă, să ne strângem iar, că... Aveam o grămadă pe live cu aia și mi-a arătat la Instagramul la una și mi-a arătat direct Mare Ciocan. Ciocolată Dubai, vezi că e bună, bro. Ciocolată Dubai chiar e bună, for real. Gen, nu fac Caterin, că chiar e bună. Mihai. Dacă nu recomanzi Mr. Beast, înseamnă că faci tu contract cu păcărele cu Las Vegas. E, na. Bă, e bună, mie îmi place. Mie îmi place. Pe bune zic, mie îmi place. Dar mănânc-o pe aia care trebuie. Aia de la Dristor e cea mai bună, să știi. Aia de la Dristor, de la Budapesta. Dați like, vă rog. Patute are regele polar. Ana-i Dristor? Păi nu știu de unde ești. Din Craiova parcă erai, nu? Din Craiova erai? Da, mă, dar nu, n-are legătură. La Dristor e cea mai bună. La Dristor e cea mai bună din România, crede-mă. Din Constanța. Ok.
So aggressive towards these main entries, and with Flit and Norbert finding Madden and Dupree overextending. Those 2 kills will open up the B bomb site. There is nothing left for Falcons in this round. It's a loss.
Problem is, I'd normally say you should go hunting, try and drop the CT players. There isn't a huge amount of cash in the reserve. You do have Electronic in a strong position, same for Fame. It's just how much guts they actually want to put towards it. Now that Magus has dropped, they'll know that the AWP is the last one.
Da. Da, am uitat.
1 versus 5. Players coming in towards the end of Fit to swing. Catching as his head's turned away for just a moment. Almost timed it well, but didn't quite get it.
Trebuie să mai arunde băieții aici. Trebuie să mai arunde băieți. Avem nevoie de arunde boșilor. Mamă! Mi-a tras electronic, vere! Mi-a tras electronic! Dați și voi like, bă, dați și voi like să ne strângem mai mulți. Să-mi bat picioarele. Ce mă oftic, bă, că mi-a picat live-ul, aveam și like-uri multe. Hai să facem și eu 100 de like-uri, boys. Să ne de 30 minute, avem 100 de like-uri.
SMGs for 3 players on the rebuy. Simple can still afford the AWP.
Does like, please.
Development of the B bomb site, the back site held by him. SMGs are close towards main and electric. VP happy to play this slow, and not too shocking that they are. Spread out, look for someone to overextend again.
Flit's gonna get burned out into the open. Needs to get some help from Norbert.
Pixels away from being damaged. The Pre's HE is going to come through against him. It doesn't quite get all the damage there. Not the best of angles, as they do consider prods from Norbert as well.
All of this distraction, though, I will say, Jay, towards B. Look at what they're doing on A and mid. They're being active because of it.
Fame finding the kill on Snap.
Face remontada. School Games. Am fost, se fumează prea mult acolo, mă. Se fumează rău de tot. Vine și la sala aia să fumează unde... Bă, am făcut live de la School, aveam 75 de FPS-uri.
Fame is already on
Avea 75 de FPS-uri la school.
Seems as if VP wanted to backtrack into mid, maybe A split. They're now going to double pump, and what they'll realize in this exec is that there's actually no one really on B to defend.
Unde mă, la zdrobeul la sală? La zdrobeul la sală, Ami?
A flash and a HE is all they have available for Flit here. They walk in their way up. Electronic scene, simple, good shot.
Mai unul după tine.
Player still to face here. Flit's going to hold his nerve. Player close to Jay, making a ton of noise. No scope doesn't connect, and the AK will turn back. Madden's SMG still has Flit low HP, running in against the bomb planter though. He's defended, and that's enough there with no time left on the clock.
Și polarul simple. Perfect.
Let it run all the way.
Perfectă rundă.
Virtus.pro.
Well, I disagree on that one, Jay. I think it's just been a couple of missed kills, isn't it? Remember back to James' missed AWP shot against the CT player. If Flit wins that fight with the AWP,
mai fă live, mă, Ami, să ții calculator. Nu te web? Mai fă live să ții și tu calculator, Ami. De ce nu mai faci live să ții calculator? Trage și tu tare pe TikTok-ul ăla, că nu se știe.
Falcons' first tactical of the game. VP took none of them in the last map. Falcons took all three of theirs. Up in the lead. Still being tested. Both economies have been stressed. Damage done towards Virtus.pro in their starting stances. Falcons, even that last round, lost a number of players. Money's still good enough for VP to get the rifles back in across the four players that fell. The AWP staying up for James, of course, saved the previous round. Simple.
Mama, Adame, ai nevastă, futute în gură de animal. Adame, ești căsătorit, futute în gură de handicapat. Doamne, Adam, Roland, Darian, ce pula mea să vezi de la Ami asta, că eu nu mai zic nimic. Futute în gură de handicapat, de nu te ară pe live la toată România. Du-te în pula mea, ai nevastă, ești căsătorit pe bune. Coaie, e căsătorit pe bune, omul e retardat. Futu-te în gură, stați mă că vă arăt eu cine e Adam. Adam, Roland, Darian, stai mă că-i dau un mesaj nevastă ta. E cu Maria Magdalena căsătorit, mâncava și pula voastră. E căsătorit cu Maria Magdalena care e prințesă, ești nebun? Bună! Vezi că Adam, Roland, Darian stă pe internet la una Ami din Constanța care e minoră. Și nu mai las că te ieri de data asta. Snappy now towards the B site. Madden's got to do this all his lonesome. The rotations will be so slow from the CT4 scene. And Fame's going to pick him up. Dă sen, ce scârbă ordinară! Doamne, ce scârbă ordinară e Ami, coaie! Dă send! Dă send! Apasă trimite! Auziți-l pe Adam, Roland, Darian. Ami, m-aș uita la tine numai de dragul tău. Emoticon cu inimioare și emoticon de râs.
The real smoke criminal.
Mai zi nimic.
An advantage for Falcons disappears before their very eyes.
I wonder if it was a scope maybe from simple sort of rescoping in on the double to look.
Hai cu like-urile alea, chat, vă rog eu 100 de like-uri, vă rog eu în inimă. Că n-ați dat like, vă dau 10 secunde să dați like. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, trece timpul repede, trebuie să apeși pe butonul de like. Nu te costă nimic, prieten drag. 4, 3, 2, mai ai o secundă să dai like, dă-i like! Se uită gagicilor la mine. Bă, frate, oricum când ești fată, Ami, crede-mă, băieții sunt disperați după femei. Dacă arăți peste medie ca fată, crede-mă, Ami, peste medie ca fată te bagă toți retardați în seamă non-stop.
2v2s, not mass players staying alive, which first off means that the economy is constantly going to
Simplu, regele canturile, a ajuns să joace cu... A ajuns să joace cu Dupri și cu Magist. Hai că nu e echipă bună dacă e.
Setting a good example of a strong scoreline, giving yourself a step up in performance, moving into that decider of Dust 2. I am concerned from what I'm seeing from Falcons.
And they're getting increasingly concerned again. Tactical taken 2 rounds in a row.
Ce mă? Mihai Condea, ce frumos și lui Dumnezeu îi place. O dăm pedofilie puțin, Mihai Condea? N-am poze cu oameni, frate. Lăsați-mă că orice fată intră o terorizați. E de treabă. Hai mă, gata cu matrimoniale, că vă dau bani, încetați. Sunt foști plineri de top 10. Fă-mă, Doamne, ferește. Așa i-ați făcut și Dianei, mă jur. Mai aveam o fată, Diana, care intră și ea mereu, dar acum în ultima perioadă nu prea m-a intrat. Ia banii azi de mea, apucă-te de ei, să mor eu. Apucă-te de ei. Lasă pedofilii în pace. Hai că ne mai trebuie o rundă, ne mai trebuie. Are 17 ani, mă, femeia. Bagă-i ceartă în casă, dă-i mesaj lui nevastă sa lui Adam și zi, domne, Adam ăsta să dă la mine, mă face frumoasă. N-are, mă, nevoie.
It's a very weird contact into electric. First off, they've got a flash and they don't use it. And then secondly, there's just separation between Snappy and Madden. They don't peek as
Simplu după ce pierde bătrânul ăsta, guys, you are bots, can't play with you anymore. Zici? Ce faci, Regina? Ce?
Norbert on the corner. Oh, what a quick shot from the man. 2 kills for the GOAT. 25 seconds left.
Salut, salut, salut. Ce faci, mă, repede? Nu ți era jocul ăla să ne jucăm. 1v1. Zi, ia echipa lui Simpa runda sau nu? E imposibil. Dacă ia electronic runda asta, deci dacă ia Snappy runda asta, eu de mâine mă duc la... A luat runda, echipa lui Simpa. Ba da. A venit fata cu mască, uite ce da fin. Dă-și-mi paharul ăla și sucul. Dă-și-mi paharul ăla și sucul. Am văzut orfine, dar... Băi, fata cu mască, ești tu alea? Te arăt fata cu mască? Să vadă lumea frumusețea adevărată? E frumoasă fata cu mască, chat? Ești frumoasă, mă, Georgiano?
Hitting the half limit VP, we're on the chance to get the 7-5. Falcons now going to attempt their go at it.
Nu cred. Mai auzi? S-a înfundat iar, nu? Ia cu apă, e pasea, nu cu suc. Amestecat niște cozonac. Vrei să mănânci amestecătura aia?
Opening CT half advantage. VP can only do 6 apiece.
Sa pasele?
VP will be disappointed from the scoreline perspective that they haven't pressed for more, that they haven't been able to.
Îți vine să crezi că Simple joacă cu dușmanii lui cei mai mari?
Falcons.
S-a apucat de cantar astăzi, s-a apucat. Fii atent, de Simple joacă în echipă cu dușmanii lui de moarte și joacă contra cel mai bun prieten al lui, Electronic. Nu vorbesc serios, Electronic e cel mai bun prieten al lui. Electronic și Beat e cel mai bun prieten al lui.
Two defenders on the site, including the man himself, Snappy. Utility hold out, the HE will land towards Electronic, reveal him, not all the way to Simple, though Electronic hugs the right-handed walls, so harder cover, protecting for the time being, forcing the fight on Simple, just back doors, a damage to
Daniel.
Fame has got to get that returning kill.
Hey, nu mai zi așa repede.
Simple on half HP has got to back up and wait for backup to arrive.
There's just nothing to work with on the retake at all, at least Simple's got a kill.
Flip found.
Tot e cel mai bun din lume la ora actuală.
AK on the stairs, hearing Madden rotating
Este.
Three players
pentru mine este.
heaven stances and the pre coming in from mid.
Uite ce le face cu aia. Uite ce le face cu aia. Băi, RMD, băi. Stai cu minte, rege.
And Falcons have the half at 7-5.
Now I don't know moving forward into this tournament, Jay.
Stai cu minte că le s-a apucat de în scopuri.
Winning games or Simple winning games. Here's one back-to-back rounds by.
Da și voi like, bă, chat. Făcut 106, poate face și noi 200. E pulișcă față de ce era odată. Bro, el n-a mai jucat un an de zile, tu realizezi asta, nu?
He's really growing into the day.
Și RMD, vezi că joacă contra o echipă care au major câștigat, bro. Adică nu e ca și cum poți să facă highlight-uri pe ăștia care sunt super echipă, știi?
That's even considering the fact that the first map he was still the top fragger
Uite,
of the
nici camere
board,
n-are.
or his team specifically. And that impact rating as well for the Falcons side. They have a CT advantage, and remember what we said earlier, Virtus.pro may well be resting on that T-half to get them the majority of their presence here.
Dacă se ține treabă, revine, corect?
Has not to end up being the case. They have to move over to that defensive side. Very intense discussions from Jane. Want to avoid another embarrassing Anubis
Și-a
today.
prins un hit.
Anything that looks slightly better than that OG performance would be a positive note, but it is a weakness moving forward for sure. Now, looking at their basis, I don't think they played particularly badly on their team side. I thought that they exploited the mid-round, created a lot of space. They had some good work from electronics both the B and A bomb sites respectively. The problem is that they struggled in the late round situation to really capitalize on rounds, and I would probably say that they could have pushed for 8, maybe 19 rounds is a bit too much. Maybe 8 is a par scoreline of what was winnable and where chances were presenting. But going down at 5-7 in the end, you'll feel hard done by.
Hard done by or not, you have to deal with this situation. Down by 2 pistols, out for the second time in this map, our 4th time in this best of 3. Flitz.
Cât de importantă e runda asta.
Away on first contact towards
Cât de importantă e runda asta, nu vă imaginați.
Aggression.
Hai mă, mori. Trag ăștia de la Falcons cu pistoale.
Some damage is returned. No major advantages, no opening kills in the first 30 seconds of the round. Falcons slow it up.
E mare ami pentru tine, RMD. E mare ami pentru tine.
Very heavy stack out on B with Electronic holding mid by himself, and Flitz spotting absolutely nothing in the canals.
Avem, dar eu nu joc fotbal, nu mai joc, m-am lăsat.
That triggers the position now just being covered by
Nu mai joc fotbal, Mihai.
for a moment there. Magic is going to start the contact and looking against them. Look at Flitz position.
Uite rundă, coaie.
Not required though. Jamin
să mai bate și Magic cu unul, îl rog eu din inimă.
With one decent trade back at Electric's position. The CT continue to face in from main, trying to get through that smoke, but Flick continues to frag. Jame holds the back lines, and Virtus.pro come out with a fairly confident pistol.
Well, I don't think you can blame Falcons there at all. You are running into a complete setup. You've got so many players out on the B bomb site, and not even all of them are actually fighting you. Flit is just maintaining that close cubby angle.
Tu ai crezut că e Ramona Maria Diana, de exemplu. Ce ai fă? Remede, ce ai fă? Aoleu, leșin. Remede, ce ai fă? Da, mă, are poză cu heroic. Pe Counter. Salut DSM. Are poze cu în joc, are poză cu heroic. Bă, RMD și DSM, hai să ne jucăm jocul ăla cu câinele. Hai să ne jucăm jocul ăla cu câinele, coaie.
Flit is the lowest rated player on Anubis for VP in the last 3 months.
Dăm un facey după aia, mă. Eu, RMD, DSM, Ami și Diana. Ăștia 5. Pardon.
Playing a good series overall for his side. Quadra in this round. All elements in. Falcons could not generate anything with their upgrades. All 5 players maintain their lives.
Ca un camin ăsta, vezi?
And of course, the scoreline will even out as well. With the fourth buy also in mind, you're looking at each.
James știe el ce să aleagă.
Once again, the series favorites by default will have a chance to gain the lead here on Anubis.
I'm going to ask you, Jay.
Știe James ce să aleagă.
Do you think it's excusable and acceptable for Falcons to not win a single map in the group stage?
I'm too mindful of this one, honestly, because again, Ring Rust, I don't expect him to pop off, but he has certainly started to do extremely good things on as the day has progressed.
But is it not also just a team game?
Da, știu că te joci. Știu că ai și calculator să te joci Counter.
Yeah, it's a very tough one to answer, honestly, from my perspective at least.
Hopa!
I think it's completely unacceptable to win a single map today.
La ciuguli simplu, pe vară mi. Am să te ghindă pe tine cu contul de poză să mă vezi și pe mine. Ia mă, Torfini.
In the kill department for a key fragger as well in this map, top of the board for his side, and Not allowed to have any impact against the pistol players, although it's taken a lot of damage out of the Falcons board.
You're just retaking space here from VP, clearing out all of those cubby quarters in from mid, seeing if there's any aggressive lurk attempts. Norbert's going to maintain Flit's position here in Electric. Now Falcons just need to try and see if they can one-for-one trade a few more of these CTs, because once a multi-kill happens, that's where you lose all your advantage.
Falcons forming up for the A split. Fame's going to be left all alone here and needing James to support the mid defense because that's where the key threats are. If he can get this bomb to drop, it might just be enough. But steps are heard, and the Masa and SMG combo indeed goes through them all. Bomb lost to Falcons. They will get trading back, but they have lost one more. Fame did get snapping on the way out of the round. And Magic's seen by James next up. The SMG burst fire will remove him from play. VP dealing with those threats well once again. Now have control of the matchup. Face the rifle buys of the Falcon side.
There's going to be pressure being brought.
38 de kill-uri am făcut. Se vede și Faces bag după meciul ăsta.
Fight in the second half. We've now given up the lead. We're giving VP a decent amount of economy float to work with.
Ce moftic, bă.
We need to make sure that we're answering straight away. Otherwise, we could be looking down the barrel of what, a 7-10 deficit?
Entirely possible at this moment. VP, good round win. Falcons' economy set will be limited at this juncture. A swing round in many regards, although not so much for the Falcons side. There's money bolstered on the VP camp, so they can afford to reinvest in the next one.
And isn't this the perfect time to bring up a similar conversation that we had on Mirage about the numbers being posted? Simple's had a good game. He's up at a decent double-digit marker.
Go sleep.
What about everyone else? Single digits for Snappy, single digits for Madden,
CM
single digits for Magic. Same for the Pre. That can't continue. That can't happen in every single map, in every single best of 3.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
Este sport.
Only rely on the GOAT so much. Bearing down the barrel of elimination again. That's what this series is all about here on the first day for Falcons to fall. On Simple's debut day as a proper member of the squad.
Another thing that probably needs to be driven into a conversation is what is the motivation going to be like for the majority of these tier 1 teams moving into an online circuit for the near future? Without playing in the LANs and without playing in front of the crowds, are we still getting that 100% focus? Are we still getting that top-class performance? These kind of tournaments that filter in with an online portion into a LAN finals will give us a bit more of an idea. It certainly will give us an answer.
Especially if you imagine that the online environment will be where most of the qualifiers take place, and not everyone's going to get those top-end tier 1 and even tier 2 invite spots.
Look at what happened to Falcons in the IEM Rio EU closed qualifiers. They beat OG in the first round, beat 3D Max, set themselves up to go in the upper bracket final, which win that would have gone straight to Rio. Lost 0-2 to Eternal Fire, so okay, get yourself a lower bracket matchup. They're in the consolidation final against Heroic, which win that game you also qualify because it was the top 2. Don't even win a match.
Luați-vă mă jocul ăla de MRS, SSM. Luați-vă jocul ăla la Airs Bar, bă. Luați-vă jocul ăla, regii mei.
They are pretty nicely set on the Valve ranking, but that could change if they don't get any victories here in this tournament. And if things also go awry in the tail end of the year.
Something to also consider is that VP are grand finalists from the last Thunderpick World Championship. Think back to last year, in the group stage, they beat NIP, lost to Cloud9, beat Fnatic, got themselves into the playoffs.
Dar unde stă Simple ăla acum? Unde stă Simple ăla acum, mă?
And at the time, basically the exact same roster. It was
unde stă Simple ăla acum, băieți?
But just Mir rather than Electronic.
Ai pula, păi dacă ești abonat îți iei tu să joci cu mine, rege. Vorbim Polonia, Polonia. Și în Ucraina și familia lui? Ok, și familia lui, RMD și familia lui? Și Vanilia lui?
And it's not an expectation per se, but like, you know, something that would realistically be possible for Virtus.pro by the end of the tournament. The immediate focus certainly is to avoid getting eliminated because none of us expect them to be in this elimination game here.
And there's going to be a couple
Sper
of
să facă 1-1 ca să mai recuperez și eu timp.
Looking at M80, I think they've been really consistent.
Cine e aici la Falcons? Cred că da. Hai să vedem.
The last season of ESL Pro League. I don't expect much from Big, but then at the same point they just played
Am nu vezi pe picuit de Falcons. Hai mă să vedem dați 2 ăla, mă.
Don't see huge amounts from them coming out. 3D Max.
Nu te prevedești că ăsta vă de viață.
Out in India on the verge of 3 months ago, so maybe they're looking at trying to have a bit of a deeper run. You've got
a plecat simplu.
even Cloud9. I think their results recently.
A plecat. Mai are câteva șepi și cu Navi, o canapea. Face live din sufragerie, omul meu. Omul meu face live din sufragerie.
Group stage games over the next 3 days. The initial opening matches, winners matches and losers matches of those respective groups between now and Thursday. So you get to focus on those teams as and when they come. Obviously, as you've been able to imagine, there is a technical problem. We've got one player lagging on the Falcons side, so I'd like to get that resolved and jump back in, just so you're all aware of what's going on at home. Being down on the scoreline, being down in the series. Pressure to apply to a team that looked to prove so much today.
And for Falcons, they just need to be pushing for map wins and series wins fairly soon, because 0-2 against 3D Max earlier on this morning, last place in the full final, didn't take a map off of Na'Vi, took 1 map off of FaZe, but got owned in the final map decider, 6-13. Look back at Pro League, lost to Furia, lost to VP, lost to Red Canids. I know they spoke about that on the desk. I mean, how does that even happen without even taking a map in that series?
Yeah.
Vetboom, Datchar, you beat 9Z and Vetboom to make it into the playoffs. Okay, whatever. Get to the playoffs. 0-2 versus Spirit, 1-2 versus VP. We are yet to see a proper run from Falcons, and knowing that you're on a 5-game losing streak and only won a single game out of your past 12, there has to be a bit of a backside to say you just can't keep
O fi, că îl înjură pe la față. Pe la spate.
Is it on the Sonic to give them, line them up and into that, you know, position to give them the go ahead, or not the go ahead, but like the necessary sort of tools to be able to achieve that?
Well, it's probably on the GM, no? I mean, if there's anyone to force movement and to force results, it's for the general manager to turn around and say, guys, if you don't get results quickly, you're out of it. Putting pressure from that side oftentimes push teams to at least get victories on the board.
Păi și nu mai pot eu nici mai vorbesc cu el.
Just series victories at this point, starting baby steps.
Stau solo, nu vezi că stau singur, îmi văd de treabă. Nu ți-ai zis, bă, că așa o să stau de acum încolo. Singur, vorbim, ne jucăm, mă joc, dacă vreți să jucăm, jucăm.
Take Thunderpick here. How many teams had to come through from what? The EU closed qualifiers, the South America closed qualifiers. You're going to have those kind of teams that are looking at you and saying, we want your spot. We want to get invited rather than basically being the team that has to qualify.
An easier road with a decent level.
Norbert. Nu mă înceta cu stresul, nu?
Falcons were, of course, one of those squads that were invited. These victories have not been forthcoming. They may well be on to take 1 map at the very least here if Anubis can get turned around soon enough.
Even the organizations had a bit of a tough time in Thunderpick. I think back to last year, yes, it's a very different roster, but it's still not going in deeper runs. It's still getting knocked out very early on. They placed, what, 17th to 24th in back-to-back European series. That was with MBK, Body, the Lonks, MHL and Boris lineup before they transitioned into picking up the M score. So just to kind of make a mark for Falcons here in Thunderpick, you're in the main event now. You're not in the qualifiers. All right, okay, let's get out of the group stage. 1 best of 3, once we're in the playoffs to make it to the top 4. Okay, step by step. And that's where the goals and the expectations need to be.
Also focusing on those, again, competitions at the tail end of the year. They'll be at the be at Challenger KEYDROP as well later on this weekend.
The RMR is going to be a good test, because a lot of people would put Falcons as a team that should make the major. I'll say they're probably unlikely to make the major with how stacked the RMR looks, with how brutal the Swiss stage can be with upsets. They're not a contender in my eyes at the moment. If they do well here at Thunderpick, and maybe if they do well at Challenger, then there's room to maybe make me change my mind, but I'm pretty stuck at the moment.
I mean, just obviously considering that they're in RMR A, I would say that there's a little bit of separation between the bottom end teams. But
are și el 2 milioane de euro din Counter fără salariu.
Be deadly in all. Teams like Omega, I think, are going to give them a good run for their money. Game Legion might give them a good run for their money.
Am pus soluțiile simple, setările simple. M-am înțeles bine cu ele azi.
Of course, VP giving them a hell of a run for their money right now. Lots of things to think about here for this Falcons side. VP in a similar stance as well. As you mentioned, one of our tournament favourites. Tested in this second map. At this stage, we are just still waiting for this technical issue to get resolved. So we have no current ETA. We're going to head towards a hopefully short break, and when we do come back, we'll get back into the thick of it. Only one round separates the two sides. Virtus.pro hold the lead, but will that still be the case in a moment's time? We'll find out when we come back.
Oh, și a tras simplul vărului electronic. Mamă. Se joacă meciul ăsta. Dar până acum S1MPLE care pe ăștia în continuu. Spirit minus 2 plus simple. Nu cred așa ceva. Spirit ia. Minus dong. Mamă, e groasă. E groasă și cu ăștia.
Roger, it'll be short. We're right back into the thick of it. Falcons taking on Virtus.pro now to try and even up this board.
Început.
Trying to stay away on the T side of Anubis. Virtus.pro, of course, leading on the map and leading on the series. Fading to lead the charge for CT aggression. It's going to cost him. Snappy takes the opening.
A good opener.
Cam să ia harta asta al nostru. Să ia al nostru harta asta.
Two mid players here from the CT side and might need to find a response onto Madden.
Nu contează el, omul.
Bame fragged out first.
Ai văzut și Paraj le-a tras la ăștia și are 2300 euro și le-a tras la ăștia la echipe. Nu contează el, frate, așa și eu pot să am un meci bun și să bat pe oricine. Pot să am un meci bun să-mi intre... Bă, elo e irelevant cu aia. A demonstrat Paraj cu aia, care are 2000 elo, ești nebun și a bătut pe aia, le dădea noscopuri, își bătea joc de ei cu aia. Fă bune cu aia. Da, un meci bun, dar nu înțelegi nimic. Iar e Simple ultimul.
And VP should lock in the round with this.
Now, Simple might be able to get the bomb plant on B, but what can he do after the fact? He's going to try and fake he's driving into electric, hope to force an over-rotation from the middle, water player down in A main, but it's just not coming at all.
Kyosuke
down in the corner and save the gun. Leaning into the A bomb site.
Ce VP nu se echipă tir 1?
So a plant could get secured, but it's the retaking CTs that should overwhelm him very quickly here. Electronic peeks him, just not seen there. Footsteps heard, so they will be able to deny the bomb plant. Can they get the kill after time? It's possible for Nor, but doesn't quite like the spray. Heads just about given up by Simple, and he does drop.
Ce VP nu se echipă? Nu, dar zic așa, VP nu se echipă de tir 1?
And you'd be furious if you're Falcons, because you've actually got a freebie of an opening kill, haven't you? You've got Fame that just aggressed out to A main. You have Snappy on the other side that gets the opener, but what happens after it? You've got a little flash play into mid, a completely blind Madden.
Ăștia de la Simple sunt mulți.
Swarming into that camera area. Electronic, Jame, you have Split that also comes in. A good work from VP to get bodies in position.
That's like. Nu, e greu, mă, coaie.
Control of the situation once again.
E greu dacă îi bate VP, coaie.
With a stop call. With a stop call, yay.
They are extending out the series, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, by certain capacity, yes.
Yeah, they're hoping to survive. They're thinking if there's more time,
Ce se
there's more
întâmplă aici,
rounds.
coaie? Le cad calculatoarele în Ucraina.
I can only imagine that it's this player lagging issue on the Falcons camp.
Le cad calculatoarele la ăștia, mâncava și pula voastră.
That we get back in quickly. Because if you're Falcons, you're probably thinking, mate, we're running out of rounds at this point. We have not started particularly well in the second half, and we're giving VP a decent amount of cash flow. We're giving them quite a bit of confidence with how Flit's playing. So let's make sure we respond fairly quickly.
2 rounds to the good still is a workable, you know, disadvantage. But with the half buy in for this next round, I don't imagine that they'll be looking to change tact and go for a force buy. That would be a little bit ludicrous. The 10 rounds advantage, rifle win there, go to number 12. And then at that point, Falcons would truly be looking at elimination here. In this case, it's actually the 2 VP players that are lagging, so the onus is shifted in the other direction, Blake.
Yes, and I'd like to take this moment to say congratulations to you and IJ and Trav for picking 3D Max in the predictions, to not just backing on the Falcons. When I saw that, because I just submitted my predictions, I didn't look at anybody else's. When the graphic came up and there were so many Falcons, I thought, why? Why has everyone actually thought that Falcons are the favorite in that matchup? That was actually wild to me.
I mean, I can't speak for everyone's opinion. I guess that they thought that the addition of Simple was going to be enough to get them, you know, like a big boost of star power. And that's the what I think the theory would be. But
against a rising team in tier 2 that keeps qualifying tier 1 tournaments and is very consistent at this level online.
550 erau azi dimineață. Și m-am jucat, au rămas 300 pe live. Când mă jucam, când alea.
E ok.
That's why we're the kings.
Te pup, o picare, mersi, te pup, te pup. Te pup, familia mea.
With a great draw against OG, I'm sure Maka and the boys will look at that and say prime position to go top seed.
OG are still obviously in the winners match by virtue of their victory against Virtus.pro. As soon as any more surprises out of them later on tonight. Falcons have a surprise right here in round 17. Have opted to continue with their half bite. Tech 9's on 3, Deagle on 2, AK's on 2 more of Flit and Norbert, and they will try and lean into Flit specifically will try and lean into electric. Peek out to the canals, see one player, just the one individual though. Going charging up, Flit stands his ground and gets his pick. Look back towards main. Good incendiary to cancel the quick hit to the Falcon side.
A great utility is Jim, baby. And Flit's gonna multi up again.
James lands an AWP pick as well. Norbert's in support, and James doubles up towards the back lines. Nice and effective, nice and efficient, and as you would expect, the rifles on this day. There will be rifles out to play for Falcons all the same. But one of their last couple of chances to really get impact now on this second
half. Ce vrea să vă dați 2 ora din tot sufletul meu, zic. Aș vrea să vă dați 2 ora din tot sufletul meu.
So dire earlier on against 3D Max, of course, against OG rather, excuse me.
Well, I want to see Falcons just with a change of pace in a gun round. It's been so slow on this T side, and they're not reaping any rewards at all.
Uite-l pe Flit. Uite-l pe Flit ce face. Uite-l pe Flit ce face la 10-7, bă, băiatule, bă. Cine să bagă, mă, pe Faceit, mă, să vede asta, mă?
And they're getting farmed in the second half. But something that should also be noted is that the economy's never been strong enough to get Simple.
Doamne, Gojo, uite ce faci. Nu, frate.
For Simple we can't win rounds. Is that what we're going with?
Virtus.pro running circles all over the Falcons opposition. 5 on 3. Fame in support of Electronic. Hearing footsteps coming, they're going to let them cross out towards Electric. I said the bomb carrier dropped in. Simple forced to fight alone, and TTs are backing up Electronic as well. B side hold their contact crossfires up on top of the higher ground. Electronic and Peking will get traded back by Simple, who makes it a double. Now needs the 8 to clutch this round, and Flit is closing in on him. Swing up towards the back site, a fight to a third pick. These 1v1s are starting to go Simple's way. 45 HP to get 2 more heads.
And James watching out for Electric, and Simple wants to fight him.
Shoulder not given enough for the AK. The AWP lands its kill, and Simple will not escape with a clutch. Frustration for him and frustration for Falcons. Bomb plant bonuses will come in for the T side at least, but the retake success on VP will continue to push the run up 11-7. Money is still there. They have to buy back here.
Well, first off from Flit, I mean, how is Snappy just what? Not watching B main. He's just out in the open. His teammate doesn't trade him. I can understand why Simple's frustrated. The basics just aren't even being developed properly. Falcons have just looked dreadful on this T side from a fundamental point of view to
ajungeți ca bonuțul după aia, mâncava și pula voastră. Spatele împionezi. E bun, mă, încă joacă bine, Simple, încă joacă bine.
Falcons will go completely defeated. Not a single map to be won if that happens for Virtus.pro. Good shot from Jay. Madden down out towards mid. Fame to smoke off the initial incendiary, cancelling Simple's attempted peek in from main. A site well defended. Flit's hoping for something more here at Electric. Not going to get given anything early.
Să bagă peste ei. Nici nu mai stăm traiul de 3 luni de zile, că nu mai suportă. Nu mai suportă. Ce? Un cameră la tine. Nu știu. La baie înseamnă. Uite ce frumos a cărat Norbert.
Incendiary's block him. He's on 43 HP. He can't afford the walk. The smoke starts coming out towards James' position. He's going to have to use a HE to open up the angles.
Mamă, Jamie e creier.
James lands a shot on Dupree.
Ia nivelul, mă.
Electronic in the interim. It's 3 versus 3. Norbert seen one beyond that smoke. Hard that bomb getting tapped, and we'll know that Snappy has got to unstick it in order to try and fight against the man. Eventually will plant the bomb. But 3v2 the VP. They're going in real quick here. Norbert maybe a little bit too reckless. The flashbang through the smoke. Snappy's going to get credited with a kill. A follow-up not quite secured. Fame returns. It's Magic alone. 1v2. One player 4 on. Both tagged, but Fame's got a lot more HP over the Dane. Tapping that bomb once. A kit for him. Magic to move forward. The AK of the CT side to win the fight and bring home map and match point for Virtus.pro. Elimination point for the Falcons.
Really well done from Norbert. Notice how he tries to go aggressive, gets that first kill with the pillar when the bomb is going down, and then just because of that fight, it takes Snappy off of the bomb.
N-are loc la Navi, n-are pe cine să scoate de la Navi. Nu, la Navi nu, dar la orice altă echipă în afară de Navi din lume are loc.
And Virtus.pro have just been pumping them in this second half.
Falcons need a hero, and right now there's only really one candidate for it. Dimple may have had an awkward first map of the day, but right now he's started to return to his old form.
Not only are we going down the pathway of not having a single map,
o echipă de jucători care nu-i mai interesează, frate.
Where are the double digits? Where are at least the competitive score lines?
Not seeing any right now.
Magii scrâde.
Tick the timer in the background. Time running
Magii
out
scrâde,
on
mâncați.
Falcons here. Need some heroic rounds. Jame Orp set in towards mid already. Bomb carrier off to the right hand side. Simple attempted to get boosted, but Dupree gives him just a little bit of vision. A shot to land. A man advantage taken for Virtus.pro already.
It's just simple mistakes costing them, isn't it, Jay? I mean, that one right there is just a boost. It's not even a contact.
I-a bătut ce, mă?
Opening kill for VP, and Falcons have been giving, especially in the last few gun rounds, so many opening fights. Finally, there's a spam back in mid, so Simple can get a player towards House of Electronic.
4-on-4 established.
Nici sune de mare jocul, e țiplă.
Simple providing the extra support for his teammates. You've still got Fame on the bomb site here, and he's got 2 players in mid to add support. Molotov's out from the T side will indicate that they have a lot of presence out here.
Nu știu ce caută la Falcons.
Waiting for Magisk and Madden to make their way in. Flashes will keep him blinded. The counter utility is there for the CT side, but there's more flashes involved.
Hai mă că moare famea asta, nu mai.
That smoke undetected, but eventually is found from beyond it. Magisk with a man advantage for his team. A 4-on-3 for the Falcons side. Bomb site taken, plant secured. VP questioning going in for this retake here. I mean, they've got cash available, so I want to see them do it, but now with Flip falling, it might be smart to hold on to the AWP here. Shot miss from James.
Simple suge după el. E nebun, mă.
Straight in towards mid.
La Daraș.
It's still up by a player for Falcons. Norbert will grab the AK and save.
Well, finally, we get
trage, mă, Simple, nu, le trage rău de tot. Cum e emblema de la Mercedes, zici că e un Y cu aia.
For Fame, he just doesn't get anything, tries to re-smoke off the molly, play around his own smoke, gets spammed up in the process. But VP could look for exits and look to buy in the next round. Falcons, they've given themselves a first at least.
Mercedes, n-am niciun stres.
The first in the half.
Nico, ce credeți că face Nico în locul lui Simple? Ce credeți că face Nico mai mult?
Nubis. Late portions of the day, Falcons were able to get 7-5 all over them since.
Very rare too that you see what a 5-7 T-side half be translated into a map victory. Don't see that often in Anubis.
Here comes VP about to do it.
Dacă nu pierdea runda trecută era bine.
Elimination this early in the competition. On day 1 of the competition.
Trage Simple.
HE sent Simple's direction. Magic's going to catch some damage early. No significant damage early.
Ținta asta joacă el meciul ăsta sau e pusă doar așa random la toți? Cu ținta asta joacă el sau e pur și simplu e pusă?
Simple trying to transition into searching for that start. Norbert's going to get a resmoke, but has to focus about Electric.
Kill against the pre, double up is wonderful. Snappy's down as well. Bomb dropped in
everything.
Lurker all the way on the other side of the map for Magic. Needs to come up and support Madden and Simple. It's a 5 versus 3 for VP and Falcons with no reason for at all.
Great sequence from Norbert.
Dacă ia Falcons runda asta.
Behind the smoke and then out to Electric. Flint team getting a boost up on the backside of Glyph. He's waiting to see when the T's are going to scale into jail.
The big old backstab of Magisk may have to be the hero-like play, although being watched by James AWP and from Temple about to take contact to him. Then pull on the boost, didn't see anything. Magisk does get caught, now down to the main presence. Firing back, blind fire of James, not connecting, but we'll start to see presence. Madden's going to get caught by the AWP. 2 kills to Norbert, making it a triple on his contact kill. And there is it. Virtus.pro take their series, stay alive.
Le-a morți în pula acum. Le-a morți în pula acum, regele. Se băga mea și pula asta voastră, că v-am zis eu, mă joc cu proști. Păi să moară familia mea, mai bine stăteam la Navi, dar mi s-a luat mie rușii de aia. Ăsta râde că ce pula mea să joc cu voi, că sunteți morți. Da-ți dragi. Mercedes, să-și mai chiar n-am niciun stres. Hai să vedem câte kill-uri a avut Pimple. Oricum top fragger și peste ea ai lor. Mă dărâdea că știe că o să fie Toxic Simple. Madden ăla? Dar cine sunt ăștia acolo? Madden ăsta cine e? La ce echipe a jucat? E mă Dallas? A jucat la NC. Ah, ok. I am Dallas. Aha, mișto. Cu Sampaius, a? Și Snap este la ce echipă a jucat? Tot la ENS. La Heroic, la ENS. Morți. Aia doi chiar sunt morți. Mamă, Teo, mamă, Pavel. Sunt obosit rău. Am luat și strike de la ăla, că mi-a făcut ăla toate alea manevre. Mi-a făcut ăla manevre, chat. M-aș mai juca, dar nu, sunt prea obosit. Vă las, ne auzim, mă culc. Nu mai pot. Mi-e somn, mi-e prea somn. Hai, vă pup, băi. Seară bună, pa. Merge